Are we having fun? Hell yeah.
I'm Steph.
And I'm Kayla, and we're two best friends coping with life the only way we know how. One adventure and a cocktail at a time.
Okay, before we go into the episode, sorry about the sound quality because I recorded on the go with my AirPods. So just a heads up, there's like a muffled section and a part where I got cut off for a second. So just bear with me. You will not want to miss this information. And this information is for all genders. It doesn't just pertain to girls. Like, anybody can be a promo model. So I hope you take some useful information out of this episode. Even if you're in a different industry, it's just for anybody who runs their own business or is self-employed, freelancing. Here we go. Hey everyone, it's Kayla. This is Are We Having Fun? I'm going to do a bonus episode on what I do for work, okay? You're probably wondering half the time, like, what the heck is this girl talking about? Does she even work? Is she lying? Okay, I actually am a self-employed promo model while I get my materials together for acting and music and whatever else I want to do. This is where I'm at right now, and I do work for myself, so you can do this part-time. You could also make it more of a full-time income stream. And I wouldn't say like full-time as in hours, but you could pay your bills with it. So anyway, I want to give you guys a little bit of insight in case you're looking for some kind of freedom in your schedule or lifestyle or whatever. This is a really fun way to go. So let me get on into it. It's going to be about 30 minutes for an episode, so hang tight. All right. So what is promo modeling? Well, first of all, what is modeling? Everybody thinks of a model like runway or maybe commercials, print, and there are so many different avenues you can go, and honestly, do them all. Anything you can get yourself into. And there's definitely a way for you to get into whatever form of modeling you want. Doesn't matter how you look. It's pretty much about how you present yourself and how hard you work. Okay. So I do specifically a branch of modeling that's promotional. I do live events. I do in-person. Basically, I'm a personality model, okay? So it's a little bit more than just knowing how to pose. It's a little bit more than knowing how to walk, or a little bit more than just like looking good. You have to really have a personality and also be ready to learn things on the fly. A lot of modeling, like, it changes daily. So you definitely need to have like the skill set to just jump on anything at any point. Things are constantly changing. But you're probably wondering, well, how do I start? Okay. So you definitely want a headshot. And if you don't have a modeling headshot, that's okay. Just get a really high quality photo of yourself. It really helps if you're smiling for most of the jobs, but you can do like a more serious one as well. But you don't want to look angry, right? You want to look like an approachable person because you're going to be approached by people. This is what promo modeling is all about, is being in front of people. So even a business headshot will do. But just know, like, based on the kind of photo you give to people is the kind of event you'll book. So first and foremost is like looking professional, like you're serious about this. You don't want like a selfie or something like that, unless they request it. So you're also going to want a resume. And if you have done any kind of events with any past work, that is definitely helpful. Anything where you're engaging with people or being the face of a brand, I'm just giving you some keywords here. Customer service is even helpful. Problem solving, working as a team, all of that is really important, especially being able to learn on the go, like I said. All of that is helpful tools for your resume. While you're building it up, you can have a regular resume. but I highly suggest that you kind of build a resume of specifically brands you've worked with, events you've done, and the type of role it is. Because whether it's called promo model, brand ambassador, product specialist, it all kind of makes a difference. So specifying the type of role it is as well. And I don't actually have like a specific format that's industry standard. Sorry, I'm recording on my AirPods and they are dying. Oh my gosh. This is why we use our recording equipment. But, bonus episodes are a little more on the go. But I don't have like an industry standard resume. But I just kind of base it off of my acting resume / modeling resume. Like, I am more interested in putting the specific event and brand and type of role I work with than having like those bullet points of like qualifications, because at the end of the day you're also going to be pitching yourself with like a little cover letter. So I kind of save all that kind of stuff for the cover letter, which in a cover letter you're going to want to have a list of points that you're going to be submitting to people, because chances are you're going to be pitching yourself like hundreds of times. I pitch myself every time I want to do a new event. Unless people reach out to me personally and are like, are you available? We need you. Then I'm actually pitching to them and I'm like, hey, I'm available. I really love this brand and this event and I would be more than happy to work, whatever. I say it a little better than that, but I'm just kind of riffing here. So have a list of points, like what makes you qualified for that specific event, because it differs. Like doing liquor versus doing I don't know, I've done weird things like medical devices and there's so many different brands, tire companies, there's so many different kinds of brands that you got to be the right person for, or events that you got to be the right person for. Like, not everybody's going to want to do a rap festival, but if you're like, I love rap and I love this brand, then you're going to be a better person than somebody who doesn't like rap and is going to have a miserable day. It's going to reflect on their job, So anyway, have those qualifications ready, and then you kind of tweak it for each event. Also, having a recommendation from a friend helps. Maybe they've done work with that specific company you're trying to work with. They can get you in the door, especially if they're doing the event as well. If you want to work with them, that's a great way to get started, because you don't have the reputation with that company yet, but they do. And you don't have the resume like they do. But they can be like, this person is the perfect match for this event. And chances are the company is like, I'm going to take this person's recommendation because I've worked with them a bunch of times and I love the work they do. So I would love to take on their friend. But I'll get more into that in a little bit. I want to talk about how to book work, because obviously it helps to have all the materials, but like, what do you do with them? So there are two main kind of agencies that you work with as a promo model, and that's traditional modeling agencies that work with in-person models, basically event models, and then there are marketing agencies. So marketing agencies are more so in partnerships with the client, which is the brand, and they do the marketing for that brand. So they're the ones that also run the events and hire the promo models. A modeling agency is more so working with the talent, which is you, and then they book a partnership with these clients, which are the brands, and then they pitch you to the brands, and then you're booked that way. But they're kind of similar. So basically you want to be in their databases. It's a little bit different submitting to a modeling agency than it is a marketing agency, but you want to have those materials together and submit on their database most of the time in order to book work. Another way is Facebook. So sometimes those agencies will go onto Facebook and they'll post about it onto a Facebook group specifically made for the industry. So they'll say, I'm looking for 3 models to work events this date for this rate at this event for this brand, or sometimes they won't even say the brand, but they'll say like the type of work it is. And you'll reach out. Basically, they'll give you an email and you'll say, I emailed you, thanks. You don't have to say much in the comments like, oh my God, I really want to work or whatever. Or like interested or available. Like you just say a little blurb to ping them like I emailed you. And you send your cover letter basically in an email to them with your headshot, your resume, whatever they request. Okay. So that's another way. So you could go into the databases and submit there, and you can search like marketing agencies or modeling agencies in my area or something on Google, or you could go onto Facebook groups and find like promo models of blank area. I'm going to use Florida as an example because that's where I'm from. Promo models of Florida, promo models of Orlando, promo models of South Florida, Tampa, you get the idea, or brand ambassadors of Orlando, etc., etc. You just do one for your area, and chances are there's going to be a very active Facebook group or 2 or 3 that you can submit on. And don't get overwhelmed when you see like 17 people commenting as well, because there are a lot of people in this industry. But, you know, give yourself a shot and go for it. So you could also do that on LinkedIn, connect with companies there, search brand ambassador jobs. You could network with agencies that way, more marketing agencies. I don't know if modeling agencies are so much on LinkedIn, but I've done that as well. Just think outside the box, honestly. Like a big part is pitching yourself. So you could even pitch straight to a brand, and who knows if you're really going to get an answer or partnership out of it, but you know, it's a place to start. That's kind of more so if you've been in the industry longer and you're looking to take it to the next level and work with specific brands. You could email them if they don't already have a contact, like a way for brand ambassadors to work with them directly. But you could email their marketing person or find them on LinkedIn and be like, hey, I'm a promo model. I do in-person events, blah, blah. Basically, you know, that cover letter comes in handy. Pitch yourself and say, I would love to be in your database if you're doing any events. And either they're going to say like, cool, or no, thank you, we're not looking, or they're going to give you the contact for the agency they work with. So hopefully they'll just put you in their database. This is kind of like something I'm working on. I don't really have like a tried and true method for that, but I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated. Pitching yourself can go a long way though, and that even goes with networking in person. So maybe you're at a festival and there are so many different vendors. You can literally hand out your business card to people that you really felt connected with and say, if you're ever looking for someone to help you with your next event, I'm available. Here's my info. You know, organic stuff. I love networking, and I definitely do this as well. TrustedHerd.com. Okay, I'm not sponsored by them, but oh my God, they've changed the game. So it's a platform for promo models to make a portfolio, and basically different agencies will post their jobs through there. So it's kind of similar to the Facebook groups, but it streamlines everybody all into one place. And not every agency is active on there, but you as a promo model are able to rate your jobs and get ratings, like recommendations basically, or testimonials from your jobs to boost your ranking. It's kind of fun. It's like its own little social media / ranking system for you to show people that you're a solid worker. And I really appreciate them for putting that together and putting brands together. There's also other portals that multiple companies will use for their booking system, like Pop Bookings, Next Crew, what else? Staff Connect. These are all just like places that streamline the process because there are so many agencies out there, and honestly, you're going to be working with more than one. Unless you're booked with an exclusive modeling agency that is booking you like specifically only with them full time, congrats to you. That's probably not you if you're starting out though. So you're going to be working with different agencies, and it can get crazy having 40 different companies and 10 different booking systems. So you definitely have to stay organized. Definitely. But I'll go into that later. So that's how you book work. That was a solid amount of time. Also, another way to book work, like I said, is having your friend vouch for you. If you know they do events, say, I'm looking to do promo modeling and I want to do an event, and whenever they have something that they need friends to work with them, then hopefully they'll vouch for you. That's actually how I got started. And that's how I booked my first modeling agency. So that goes a long way. If you can swing it, obviously don't rely on that. Don't wait for it. Like, go out, get it yourself before you rely on friends. Anyway, so let's talk about different kinds of events, because I have done it all, basically. The only thing I haven't done is a runway, and I haven't done print work in the sense of like a billboard or a catalog for a company, but I've pretty much done like every kind of modeling gig, I think. But there's different kinds of events you can do. There's the big events, and they could be the glamorous Red Bull Energy models that show up and you take pictures with them and everyone's so psyched, down to your everyday retail grocery store sampler, okay? It all kind of falls in the same line of work, sometimes the same companies. Obviously, all of them have a different stigma, and before you go into it, like, I'm too good for blah, blah, blah kind of event, think outside the box, because those samplers actually are working consistently, and they're probably making more money than you think. So they also have a freedom of schedule that comes with the job. So, put yourself outside the box a little bit. I didn't think like that until I started booking these consistent gigs with Sam's Club, but they have definitely given me the most freedom and opportunity than I've ever had. So you got to think outside the box. That's what the main theme is. So those glamour jobs could be at like trade shows. They could be at festivals, music festivals, or food and wine festivals. There's also just like regular brand ambassador work where you're more so setting up and breaking down. You're not just like, oh, I'm a pretty face, like you're having to lift stuff and then you give product knowledge or whatever as the face of the brand. But you're giving out free stuff usually and making it really fun for the event. And plus, you're at the event for free, so like, heck yeah, you get to reap the benefits of it. Like, you have to take a lunch break at some point and you get to go watch music or, just like pretend you're having a grand old time. I don't know. It is a grand old time. You're not pretending. So there's also sporting events. So NFL, Major League Baseball or soccer. You could be the one handing out free drinks there or free sunglasses or whatever. And it's just a good time. Like, people are really excited to see you and they're like, ooh, what's this? And you're just hyping them up about the brand. You're giving the brand a positive outlook towards the guests so that the guests have a great memory of that brand and they're more likely to purchase it in the future. You don't even have to sell most of the time. You're not there to sell. You're just there to like spread awareness and have a positive impact on the customers with the brand. So even like when I did medical devices, Like, people were so excited to come visit us, and the marshals for the golf tournament had to shush us because we were having too much fun, okay? For knee replacement products, okay? So, like, don't discount the brand you're working with either, because you're going to make it so fun. Even if your job is to get information from the guests, like marketing information, so that the brand can find their ideal client, or their ideal customer, I should say. It's just like, you hype people up for it. And usually they're giving out free stuff, and it makes it super fun and interactive, or they're doing games, and people love that, okay? So it's just fun to, like, throw a party, basically. Speaking of parties, you could do private parties and events, and that could be anything from, like, banquet server or private, like, private dinners serving, but I've had a lot of fun booking that as well. When I was in the Hamptons, I actually knew the people I was working for, and I was just doing it to make extra money because, I want to be, like, in entertainment. This isn't, like, a forever thing for me. I know that. But I had fun being around these people, these really successful people, and sometimes they saw that, you know, this isn't the end game. I'm not just trying to, like, serve at private dinners, whatever, or, like, work at a tennis club. They saw what I was going for, and they let me sing for them. I'm like, that was just, like, something really touching, because we actually all ended up crying. And it was just a magical moment that I will never take away, and I really thank those opportunities, because basically I was singing for people in the government, and that, I don't even know their names, but, like, that moment meant so much. So anyway, so where was I? Private parties. So another way that you could do, like, a private party is if your agency books you for, like, after parties. So a couple years ago, I don't know if you remember the Fiji Water Girl, but basically if you look up Fiji Water Girl on Google, you'll see all these headlines for this model who was doing Fiji water for this after party for, like, the Oscars or something. She was getting in the background of all these photos of celebrities as, like, a statement, I guess. She was making a name for herself, and it was comical. People were talking about it. And that really propelled her career because she put herself out there. But anyway, that's just an example of another job you could do as a promo model. And, you know, I respect what she was going for. It's controversial, but, like, she was just doing her work, not the photo part, but she was doing her work because she sees bigger things for her career, and that's just how she was making her money in the meantime. So there's different intentions for going into promo modeling, whether it's a stepping stone or you're looking for extra cash, or if you really did want to make it a lifelong thing. People do it until they die if you really do it right and you're responsible. So grocery and retail, yeah. So the samplers you see, I already talked about that. Bars and liquor stores is a big one. Those are, like, really short events, so it's great if you're doing it as a second job and you just want to do, like, a gig here and there. I mean, they're everywhere. Like, no matter where you live, there's probably going to be promos going on that are, like, 2 hours long. It's not going to be consistent always, depending on where you are, but if you're in a big city, you're fine. But you could really stack up the gigs to make it a full day's worth of work, or you could just work 2 hours here or there for a little extra cash. And then bars are called on-premise, or restaurants are on-premise, or, like, an event is on-premise. And then when you're working at liquor stores, it's called off-premise. And kind of how you go about the work differs between on-premise and off-premise. But you'll learn about that as you go, and you'll find what you like. Also, don't discount, like, flyering, or even I've seen, like, sign spinners job calls on some of the agencies. those people actually make a lot of money. And yeah, okay, they're out in the sun if it's summertime, they're walking around, whatever. It can be fun handing out flyers though, because dude, like, your job's not hard. You could go to a college campus, you get to walk around, or you just get to like approach people as they're walking between classes and like, here's some free swag, or here's a flyer. And like, there's nothing more to that. You're not pressuring them to buy anything. You're just like saying, have a nice day. And you get to like dance around with your friends if you're working with people. And you're usually working with people. Also, mascots, dude, they work for like 15 minutes at a time. Yeah, it's hot and sweaty in that suit. So like, you have to take breaks. But like, they get paid good money usually for something like that. So like a one-off thing, it's kind of fun. I don't know. I would be a mascot. And if you have a special talent, maybe you juggle, maybe you sing, maybe you like to get on the microphone and host. You know, that really opens up work for you. So there's a lot of avenues you can go into, and different levels and different time commitments. But at the end of the day, keep these things in mind. I'm wrapping it up here. You're your own boss. That means that you have the responsibility to do the work and do it well, and keep booking consistently. It's on no one else but you. You know, you're kind of in charge of whether you work or not. And the worst part is when you want to work, but you don't see something available. But that's where you start working, looking outside the box. And honestly, like, things always come. Like, it always works out. Even if I was stressed out earlier this year, like, there's seasons. It's a seasonal job. So you got to, like, prep for those times. And let this be, like, one income stream for you, and, like, open up to other income streams. But you are your own boss, so you get the flexibility of being your own boss. And it's definitely been worth it for me the last few years to do promo modeling, honestly. I respect it so much. Just know your worth, because, like, this weekend has really proved to me that your safety is first and foremost, and you have to know how much you're willing to be paid, especially if the nature of the job puts you at risk in any way, whether it's having to do with traveling far, or going into bad weather situations, or it's just the middle of the summer and it's hot and you could get a heat stroke at any given point. Like, there are so many factors that play into your worth that you need to know, like, I'm willing to make this money for this job, but if there's additional things, you got to be able to stand up for yourself, negotiate for yourself. Even if you're working with a third-party agency, like, you have to be willing to say, like, no, this isn't the job for me, when external factors play into it. Especially if you're doing this full-time, like me. I want to be my own boss, so I know that I have all the liability of being my own boss. So if I'm putting myself at risk, if the roads are slippery and icy, like they are this weekend, I can't be driving in the middle of nowhere and then I get stuck somewhere in a ditch. Or I have no hotel to stay in because there are no towns around. So you gotta, like, think, okay, what is this job worth for me? Not just monetarily, but, like, insurance-wise, like, all that external stuff goes into it. And I can talk more about that, but I'm at a point now in my career where I need to start looking into those liability coverages for myself, because nobody else is going to do it but you. So that's something to keep in mind. Like, you are in charge of that stuff when you're your own boss. That goes into any field of work. And also have fun. Like, you're there to have fun. That's what they hire you for, is to make sure that the customers have a fun time and they remember that brand forever. And it really does reap the benefits. That's what's going to get you more work. If you're professional and you do your job well, you're going to get benefits from it. You're going to book more work and you're going to have so much fun. Guys, good luck. If you found this interesting in any way, please email us at arewehavingfunpod@gmail.com. That's pod as in podcast, because this is a podcast, and it's not are we having fun yet, okay? First of all, grammar lesson, that's not proper grammar. We're not grammar Nazis, but, like, just maybe hopefully that'll remember or keep you remembering. It's, are we having fun? Yes or no? Yes, we're having fun. Are we having fun? It's not, are we having fun yet? Okay, that's my rant for today. Also, you can DM us on Instagram, Are We Having Fun Pod, as well. I'm sorry, my voice is giving out. I'm having the worst sinus issues this week, so I need to figure that out for myself and go have some tea and rest my voice. And I will catch you all on the next episode. Bye!